We live in a UBS world, right? Its heavy losses, partially due to its unethically run investment banking division, helped usher in the subprime mortgage. Oh, sorry, wait. I got I got my flashlight review script confused with the script for my other YouTube channel, which is all about the financial collapse of 2008. Sorry, simple mistake. It won't happen again. Let me start over. We live in a USB world, which is why it makes sense for a flashlight nowadays to be charged by a USB cable. CooYoo, yeah, CooYoo, makes the world's smallest USB rechargeable flashlight, the Quantum, as long as you believe things I say, just because I say them. Actually, the package says it's probably the smallest flashlight in the world. Not my words, the packages. CooYoo also realizes copper is classy. In fact, it's so classy, copper enthusiasts have been known to strip whole houses of it to add to their collections. Which is fine. It's not like they're scrapping it and trading it to pay for their drug habits, right? CooYoo has introduced its tiny quantum that can be constructed out of several materials like stainless steel, aluminum, titanium, and like the one reviewed here, copper. But as far as I know, not hemp. Sorry, hippies. The Quantum is a two-mode flashlight that uses a Cree XP G2 LED emitter that recharges its built-in lithium-ion battery with a micro USB cable. You're like, cool, I've already watched millions of reviews about this light and they all said the exact same crap. Alright, jerk. So let's test the runtime and the output levels and try to keep it short. I set my camera to manual and tested the two modes with my DIY lumen measuring device using FL1 standards, which should be used as a basic reference only. Look at other people's reviews and see what they get before you buy it. Or whatever. On screen are CooYoo's claims along with my figures. On low I get 10.5 lumens. On high I get 101 lumens. Cool, so how long does the light run on a charge on each mode? Here's my camera pointed at the light that shows how long it lasts, on each mode. First is low. At about the 3.5 hour mark, it starts to dim, then just gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer, putting out barely usable levels of light. So I cut the runtime test short at a little over 8 hours. On high, it begins to dim almost immediately and gives you about 20 minutes or so of bright light before going into a super low mode. My starting voltage was about 4.15 to 4.17. My ending voltage was about 2.5 volts initially and then 2.65 volts after a few minutes of letting the cell rest. I did a few more runtime tests and they all had ending voltages of about 2.6 volts. I did not film all of them because, that would be weird. Awesome. So how does the user interface work? Simple, homie. Just twist. First you get to low mode and then to high mode. Then unscrew just until it turns off. The threads aren't exactly square cuts, so the twisting motion could be smoother. So the light has a built-in USB charger. Red means it's charging and green means it's either not charging or it's fully charged. I'll explain. To charge the light, unscrew the top to reveal the charging port. Plug in a micro USB charger cord like your phone has and let it charge. The light uses a tiny replaceable 10180 or 10180 lithium ion battery. I found that the light's internal charger would charge it between 415 volts to 4.19 volts. So that seems safe, but not consistent. But I have a few other lithium ion battery chargers and they all kind of do the same thing. So I figure I should bring this up in the review. Initially I wanted to charge the CooYoo. I got a constant green light, meaning it wasn't charging even with the battery put in correctly. Make sure the tip of the battery faces the emitter. Okay, after asking on the internet, someone else had the same problem. To fix it, I was suggested to remove the black sticker gasket above the charging port and reflow the two pins for the USB charger. Just stick your soldering, why do I call it soldering? Soldering iron, because that's how it's spelled, right? On until they liquefy. I added a touch more solder to each pin, and this fixed it. Cool, soldering is awesome, am I right? Alright, so what am I forgetting in the flashlight review checklist? Oh yeah, it's impact resistant to 1.5 meters. So let me pretend to accidentally drop it a few times. I didn't actually pretend to drop it. I did drop it. I just pretended to accidentally do it. Get it? All right. How about the IPX8 standards? It has an O-ring at the tail cap, on the body near the USB port, and on the head behind the glass lens. So as long as those stay intact, You can do something dumb like drop it in a glass of water like I did for this review, or most likely a toilet or a puddle, and you're cool. No worries there. How about a tint comparison? It falls in the cool tint territory. You know, not like a chill bro type tint, but more like the bluish end of white type tint. I got a reading of anywhere between 5500 to 6100K on my crappy iPhone program, which is why I'm going to throw it next to a few lights here so you can, look at it for yourself. Oh, the beam shots. Yeah, the beam shots. All flashlights are set to manual at their highest outputs. I used an RCR 123A and AA sized or smaller lights, but ones with a wide variety of outputs to help you see what 100-ish lumens looks like, compared to lesser or higher outputs. All figures on the screen are my readings using my measuring device and crappy lux meter based on a Zebralight SC600W Mark II reference light lumen scale. Use them as a relative reference only and not as the absolute truth. Remember, kids, don't believe everything you see or watch on the internet unless it's about the government and it's from an anonymous source that can't be verified. That's the only exception. The Quantum uses a TIR optics, so its spot isn't quite as narrow as a reflector-based flashlight like the Phoenix LD15 or the Olight S15R. Anyway, any final thoughts? I liked the light just fine, but the initial QC problems were a pain. Most people seem to have gotten perfectly working lights. If you are having a problem with charging, it seems a soldering iron will fix it right up. I mean, maybe. I'm not a psychic. I found charging times lasted about an hour from the 2.65-ish volt mark. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. It's tiny and not heavy. Here are the weight and the dimensions, just in case you wanted to know. It's really, really bright for its small size and brighter than most keychain lights out there. Again, I feel like the twisting action could be a little smoother too, which is not the first time I've ever said that. Also, copper kind of smells weird, which I kind of forgot about until I use this light. What does it come with? It comes with the cardboard packaging and a little ring so you can attach it to your keychain. You're going to need to bring your own micro USB cord and charging brick, depending on what country you're in. Okay, if you like this video, watch all the other videos I've uploaded this year if you're bored or, need something to help you fall asleep. I don't like telling people what to do, but you definitely need to subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. There are more indoor, outdoor gear reviews to come, and maybe some other stuff too. Thanks for watching, and be sure to comment on the video if you like it, because it encourages me to keep making more. Everyone needs encouragement, right?